Trump warned you 3 times, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Now the distraction went from Epstein to Obama. Remember, when they have you looking this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. In today's video, I'm going to break down how they have us looking this way now at Obama, as the Trump family is accumulating a massive amount of Bitcoin. Pay attention. Dave Portnoy, excuse me, also talks about the big mistake he made with XRP. My top holdings are XRP and Bitcoin. And on the back end of every video, I break down exactly what I'm doing. I peel back the curtain. But what I want to share with you before we kick off this full video is you're being distracted. This happens every single time there's a massive monetary shift. If you studied the fourth turning, Ray Dalio's Changing World Order, the World Economic Forum told you you're going to own nothing and be happy in 2030. But the fact is, most Americans rent everything. They don't own anything. They never pay off their car. They don't pay off their iPhone. They don't pay off their home, and they're pissed off. So which one is it? Are you going to sit here and be distracted? The Epstein files never got dropped. You were disappointed. And now they have you looking at Obama over here, and now you're going to pay attention to that narrative. And we're all drunk in the Coliseum as a Trojan horse is coming in. And they're not doing what you're doing, family. They're going to lower taxes. More money is going to come into this economy than ever. And they should be writing executive orders to rewire the education system. Because here's the truth. Americans are going to have more money than they've ever had in their pocket over the next 3 years. Yes, Trump is going to make America very, very wealthy. He will keep that promise. But the problem is they're not signing any executive orders to change the financial literacy of America. And if you don't rewire the foundation, you're going to have the exact same situation. Because if you print money in a low interest rate environment, guess who gets really, really wealthy? Not the middle class, not the working class. The middle class is getting wiped out, leverage source technology moving down to the working poor. In the next 4 years, you have the opportunity to invest in the new infrastructure of the financial system, develop financial literacy, understand how money works, cash flow, cash is trash, put in deflationary assets that have fixed supplies, just like the Trump family's doing, just like BlackRock is doing, just like MicroStrategies is doing, just like Robert Kiyosaki is doing, just like Ray Dalio is doing, just like Kathy Wood is doing. These are all billionaires that I'm talking about. These aren't millionaires driving Lambos, flexing their watches out in Miami and rented apartments. These are billionaires. They are giving you hint after hint after hint. Then you have number 3, protection. And then you have number 4, leverage. People say, oh, why would you leverage your assets? Think about it. All Americans are into leverage. We leverage our cars. We leverage our houses. We leverage our watches. We leverage our phones. We leverage everything. But the leverage that we do, because of lack of financial literacy, makes us poor. And the wealthy use leverage to become richer. So you have this opportunity right now that will never happen in our living history to be on the right side of this. You are the generational shifter. So let's dive in. So the first thing I want to show you is the new distraction that we got here. Epstein files, and now Obama was behind all of it. We were always right about the Russian hoax corruption scandal, and now it's time to do something about it. Okay, I completely agree with there's a lot of bullshit going on. Completely agree. I completely agree there's a lot of dark-ass people like Jeffrey Epstein, and they should be all held accountable. They should all be held accountable. But I'll tell you what, wasn't that shocking that all of a sudden the carrot was dangled for you, the cues and the drops and all this stuff, and then boom, no files. What happened, guys? What happened? And now Obama. And this seems to happen every single time. We're in a changing world order. Every single time. You're in the pattern of the fourth turning. We're in the crisis stage, guys, and we're coming out of it the next 4 years. And when we wake up, here's what's about to happen. Ready? Drum roll. Boom. You're going to be in a brand new financial system. New Trump Media and Technology Group has just announced that they have accumulated roughly $2 billion in Bitcoin, making them number 5 largest corporate Bitcoin holdings. MicroStrategies is number 1, which is now Strategy B. They went from 2020, a software company, to a Bitcoin treasury company. You got Mara Holdings, XXI, Riot Platforms, and Trump has fastly and swiftly climbed to the top 5, passing Tesla, guys. Are you awake yet? Are you awake yet? If somebody holds 1 Bitcoin, they're in the top 1% in the world. Holding 0.1 Bitcoin makes you 0.1 Bitcoin, makes you elite. This is the new monetary system. Nobody can FUD me out of this. Check this out. So, well, let's go back real quick. Okay. So we got, oh, what is it not switching there? Oh, there we go. We got Trump Media number 5. We got MicroStrategies number 1. We got BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world. That's number 2 outside of Satoshi. BlackRock holds over 662,000. I think they're at 700,000 now. This is an older report. Accounting for more than 3% of the total supply. 3% of the total supply. Remember, BlackRock is one of the largest holders in MicroStrategy Strategy B. Now, True Social's climbed to the number 5 spot. So you can keep looking this way at Obama and Epstein as they keep rewiring your financial system. Saylor says you have 10 years to acquire Bitcoin before there's no Bitcoin left for you. Check this out.
I think we're in a digital gold rush, and you've got 10 years to acquire all your Bitcoin before there's no Bitcoin left for you. The competition is a virtuous competition. Metaplanet's the hottest company in Japan right now. They went from 10 million to $1 billion market cap to a $5 billion market cap. They're going to raise billions of dollars. They're going to pull the liquidity out of the Japanese market. So they'll be raising capital in Tokyo and the Tokyo Stock Exchange. Obviously, none of the rest of us are trading or selling equity in the Tokyo Stock Exchange. So it's not competitive. It's
okay. So this is going to be the biggest supply and demand issue that we've ever seen. Trump warned you 3 times. His sons warned you multiple times. Buy now, buy now. Buy now. These markets are going to fly on the back end of this year, but you have to prepare. Stay out of the hype train, stay out of the hype influencers, the get rich quick. Guys, there's going to be a bear market. When I hear influencers say there's going to be no bear market, since markets existed, there has to be a bear market. There's bear market, there's bull market. Somebody's winning, somebody's losing. Now, may it not be as deep, 80% drop like it was in 2022, but there's going to be a bear market. Okay. So some of you, and I'll walk through this in just a moment. So stick till the end. I'm going to break down the different types of investors coming in. Okay. You need to put on a 4-year horizon. I don't want you thinking about the present moment. There's the only time I'm going to have you pull out of the present, because we need to go forward and then reverse engineer a plan for you based on where you're specifically at. You're not late. You're very, very early, but you're going to have to be emotionally strong, because some of you are going to come at the top because you're going to sit on the sidelines till about September, October. And then when XRP's at $7 to $8, you're going to come FOMOing in, and then you're going to get caught at the top and come down. But here's what I'm going to teach you is that you ride the wave down and you accumulate more. You get rich in the bear market. People get wrecked in the bull market, and I'll explain that. Okay, here's Dave Portnoy, where he talks about the situation where he had said he was head of the Xrparmy, right? He bought a bunch of XRP, and now here's him speaking about how he regretted selling his XRP at $2.60.
So anyways, XRP. I had, I think, close to $3 million of XRP, and it was hovering. XRP was going from like 210 to 240, back to 210, back to 240. Fine. I wasn't going to sell it. I was going to diamond hands it. But the guy who originally was like, get involved in XRP, and the guy, the reason I looked at it, sends me a text out of the blue. And I don't talk to this guy a lot. He knows who he is. He knows who he is. And he's like, hey, not good news that Circle is going to do what XRP is doing. I don't even really know what he's talking about. I'm like, so you're saying sell XRP? He's like, I certainly don't like it that much anymore.
See, that's one thing too. This is why I wanted to show you this. Like, whoever was texting him, that's it just shows lack of knowledge on understanding the infrastructural change in the financial system. Guys, you can have competition. You got Bank of America, you got Chase, you got Wells Fargo. Competition is healthy. Okay. XRP is a badass technology that's going to change. There's many others. JPM Coin, they have their own, I think it's called, when Onyx, now it's called Lynx, I think. JP Morgan has their own blockchain technology, their own distributed ledger technology. Guys, competition is healthy. Just because another company creates some sort of DLT or distributed ledger technology means nothing in regards to like XRP is going to be, it's not how it works. And that's how people get wrecked. People have Samsung phones, they have Apple phones, right? You need to pick what you believe in, because look what Dave Portnoy did. He sold based on someone else's opinion. That's how you get wrecked.
Or as much as I did. So in XRP, it's going 240 to 210, 240 to 210. When it went back up to around 240, I'm like, all right, I don't, this guy doesn't like it anymore. I'm just going to get out. No sooner did I sell it, the thing went parabolic. It's like 350. I blinked. Made me sick to my stomach. Sick to my stomach. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And then the guy is like, well, I didn't sell it. Well, then why did you? He's like, I hold things for 5 years. Well, why did you text me out of the blue being like, I don't like it? Just I just put it, I put it away. I wasn't even thinking about it.
Now, of course, Dave Portnoy could lose $3 million. Ain't no big deal, right? But you can't play games with your money, man. I mean, he can throw 3 million in, 3 million out. He can lose $1 million, whatever. But that's the issue with not knowing what you hold, asking what to invest in. When somebody's like, what should I invest in, JB? I'm like, I have no idea. What do you know about it? I know about XRP. I understand XRP. I understand Bitcoin's mechanism of being a store value like gold. I'm using it with low leverage to buy cash flow. So when people are like, oh, Bitcoin, why would you? I'm like, I'm using it. I bought an insurance brokerage. Once that's paid off, and I think we had 6 more payments after this payment coming out right now. And when it's paid off and be, I think, around April next year, going into the first part of the year, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go low leverage again, buy more cash flow. So as everybody just sits, I'm leveraging cash flow. So within the next 4 to 5 years, I'll create probably 5 different cash flow streams based on low leverage on an asset that's going to appreciate 50% every single year, beating the hurdle rate with the leverage every single time. Okay, so we're going to listen to this video, and then I'm going to end with Robert Kiyosaki, and I'm going to share with you guys the warning that I have for you. And I'm going to be very real and honest with you guys what I think is going to happen and what will hurt people because of all the hype. Right, it gets really hypey if you're new to this, right? There's people telling you it's going to go to, 10,000, 20,000, thousands of dollars, XRP, and it's going to go to 8. And some people say it's going to crash. Some people are going to go to 0. I'm going to share with you how we create calm, stoic plans and really understand how markets work and create an individualized plan so you don't get wrecked.
President Trump marking 6 months in the White House.
It is my honor to introduce to you the 45th and the 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
Donald Trump immediately getting to work with a remarkable show of the use of executive power.
We've never seen anything like this. There's 20,000 people cheering for every executive order signed.
President Trump comes in and immediately begins taking action to fix each and every one of these fires that the Democrats started.
It's 6 months delivering on the agenda. This ultimately is promises made, promises kept by the president.
This is a message to the rest of the world. The days of ripping off America and Americans are officially over.
The Trump archives are a series of near impossible feats.
We have the safest, most secure border in the history of this nation.
Border crossings have dropped so much that federal agents now outnumber illegal crossers.
He had a mandate and he's delivering on it. The American economy is better for it.
NASDAQ and S&P both hitting all-time highs.
Gas prices are down. Retail sales are up. $2 trillion in international financial agreement and record tariff revenue.
The USA is on a roll.
Culminating in the signing of the One Big Beautiful Bill on July 4th.
A bill for and by the people.
Thanks to this bill, Trump could resign tomorrow and still point to an enduring legacy.
And he's full steam ahead for America.
This movement that President Trump has started is only getting bigger. It has more energy, more enthusiasm.
What he's going to do is show up and work hard and deliver every day for the American people.
You're watching history, so buckle up because the next 3.5 years will probably be just as busy.
Okay, so why did I show that to you guys? Because number one, I agree. I feel that he is going to bring more wealth into America than we've ever seen before. Here's the biggest issue that I have to say about that is they should be signing executive orders to develop financial literacy. We are going to have a ton more money in our pockets. He wants to bring the Fed rate down to 1%. It's at 4.25% right now. Okay. So when they bring the Fed rate down, then you have the bank rate. So if an interest rate is about 6%, you're going to see a drop almost to 3% in interest rates. That is going to stimulate the crap out of the economy, which is amazing. Maybe someone can afford a home, right? They're going to pay less for gas, less for eggs, less for bread, right? They're going to have more money in their pocket. But the issue is that Americans hold cash. He is going to devalue your cash. He's going to print more money than in history, and he's going to devalue your currency. He wants a weaker dollar. Okay. He believes in a fair and equitable system. He told us we're going to be on an even playing field monetarily before we know it 7 years ago. I've been showing you the game. Every single logic connects. Okay. He's going to bring the dollar down. He's going to create fair competition. He's not a politician. He's a businessman. Okay. Businessmen work to build businesses. He owns a ton of real estate. And now I just showed you that the Trump family, the True Social, or not True Social, sorry, let me get that right. Trump, what's it called again? Trump Media Technology, right? They are going to buy, or they're buying a ton of Bitcoin. Okay. They're all moving into this asset class called Bitcoin. Central banks around the world are stacking gold. Why are they doing that? Because they know that the dollar is going to become weaker. Now we're going to stay stabilized as a dollar because of the Genius Act, hence the Genius Act. Okay. They created they signed this. It's signed. It's into law. So if you're new to crypto, guys, this is from a week ago. Crypto is in America. It's signed into law. We now have stable coin regulation. We have clear rules of the road for banks. Okay. America is going to become even more dominant because of the Stablecoin Act. Okay. We're going to have a stable digital dollar. Then they're going to rebalance the balance sheet with Bitcoin. I believe they're going to revalue gold, and they'll probably just do an accounting measure. They'll probably move the valuation of gold, the profits, into Bitcoin, a deflationary asset that is a new monetary system. Okay. We're going into digitization. You're going into tokenization. Okay. Now here's the warning I have. It's just what Robert Kiyosaki is saying. So I'm going to read this tweet and I'm going to explain to you as if you're just coming into cryptocurrency. Okay. I'm going to explain to you how we did it. First, I'm going to explain to you the cycles we're about to go through so you can emotionally understand what's about to happen. You can psychologically get ready for it. And then I'm going to explain to you worst case scenario and best case scenario. Okay. So Robert Kiyosaki says bubbles are about to start bursting. Okay. When bubbles bust, odds are gold, silver, and Bitcoin will burst too. The good news is if prices of gold and silver and Bitcoin crash, I will be buying. I am hoping that next year, all this pressure, something will burst and we'll go into a bear market again. And when prices go down in the assets that you understand and you know why you're investing, you should be celebrating. Okay, that's how the markets work. Warren Buffett, buy when there's blood in the streets. Unfortunately, there's a bear and there's a bull. And these influencers saying there's not going to be a bear market. There's always a bear market. There has to be. That's how markets work. They're just emotion. That's all markets are. It's market sentiment. Somebody's excited and there's always selling pressure, right? The big money manipulates the markets to create selling pressure. Okay, and there'll be selling pressure on Bitcoin. Eventually, there will not be enough supply. So there'll only be buyers and sellers. Okay. Bitcoin will keep going up in price and everybody has a price point where they're going to exit. I'm not. I'm holding it 100%. So let's first talk about what you're about to go through. Today is July 22nd, 2025. Bitcoin dominance has dropped. Let's see here. Let me give you the exact number here. Let me show you guys physically because this is going to be a little bit longer on the back end because I think this is really important that we need to talk about. Okay. Let me show this to you guys real quick. Share this tab. Boom. Okay, let's work through this together. Okay, so this is Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. You can get 30 days for free down below. This is our demo account. So if you go to markets right here, okay, so I'm going to show you guys this. Okay, so BTC, okay, so it went up a little bit. Okay, so you can see the inversion here. Okay, so Bitcoin dominance is right here. So Bitcoin dominance, and don't quote me on these numbers. I think about a month ago it was at 67%, dropped down to 66, and then it dropped under this weekend to 59%. Now, Bitcoin runs most of the market. So when this dropped under 60%, you saw the altcoins started to run. Altcoins is all other cryptos. Okay, so you got Bitcoin to lead 60% of the market. That's why everybody talks about Bitcoin. It runs the market. Okay, now it looks like Bitcoin dominance is going back up, and look at it, bleeds out the profit in the altcoins. So what happened was this weekend, BTC dominance dropped under, it was 59.7%. ETH started to run up to 3,700. ETH goes first, Ethereum, and then altcoins, all the other coins run. Okay, so what you're going to see is you're going to see pumps and then you're going to see cool offs, pumps and then cool offs. Okay, I think August is going to be a beautiful, beautiful month. I think we're going to see a lot of price appreciation and you're going to see these markets fly when they lower interest rates. Okay, you got a couple things coming. Okay, pay attention. Okay, you're going to see interest rates lower, which is going to suck the value of the dollar down, which pushes people into deflationary assets, Bitcoin, gold. Okay, so do we got that? Deflationary means how I look at it is fixed supplies. Bitcoin has a fixed supply, 21 million. You can't just print it like the US dollar. XRP and Bitcoin are opposite of the US dollar. Okay, that's why XRP is number one, will always be my number one. Number two is Bitcoin. So I move from inflationary US dollar, where they're going to lower interest rates and devalue your dollar, it's going to be worth less, and I move into deflationary assets. Okay. So you're going to go through this, what's called a bull cycle. Some of you are going to sit on the sidelines and you're going to come in when XRP is at $5, $7, $8, $10. Okay. So if you come in, you're still buying, listen, this is really important. You're still buying the bottom of the future top. Okay. I was buying Bitcoin at 25K. People are like, why are you buying the top? It was when it was at the top. Now it's 118K. So I was buying the bottom of the future top. Now, it took some time to get back to level and then profit. Does that make sense? So if you really believe in what you're holding, you're not trying to get rich quick. The next 4 years will be super critical for you. So what's going to happen is if you buy in the top or you're coming in now, you're going to, your dollar cost average will become higher and higher because you're getting in as the market goes up. Okay. Then you're going to see a sharp drop in 2026. We're going to go into a bear market. Okay. It may not be an 80% drop like it was in 2022. This is why our academy is so important. Click the description of my video. We literally talk about this daily. We are calm. We are not the get rich quick. We are not the hype. My team is live all the time in there. Explain to you guys, relax, relax. Okay. We don't do short term. It's not short term. Okay. Because what's going to happen 2022, it's going to cool off. And then your portfolio, if you come in at the top, is going to be negative for 2026, 2027, 2028. Then there's going to be the Bitcoin halving. Okay, and this next bull run is going to be generational wealth shifting. Then we're going to go 6 months after the Bitcoin halving, back end of 2028. It's going to represent what would have been back into 2024 when Trump got elected. It'd be 2028. It's coming up, right? We're going to be going into a new presidential election. Okay, then it'll be 2029 will be the bull run, and then you're going to see tokenization. You're going to see price discovery, price appreciation. And then you're going to see the new monetary system after 2030. Okay. So if you're rushing in right now to get rich quick, that's a risky way to look at this. You should be putting your brain to 2030, reverse engineering, getting your shit together like crazy. I mean, locking in, head of household, men, lock in. Okay. The next 4 years is critical. You don't need another new boat. You don't need a new car. You don't need, you shouldn't be, I mean, I'm going to get off my soapbox today. I could go in on this. You should be locked in. And why am I telling you? It's what I did. It's exactly what I did. 2020, they came in here and shut down my business. And I said, I will never, ever put my family in a position where a man or woman can take away my ability to take care of my family. And I locked in. Hardcore, lock the F in. I rewired my brain. I realized I was indoctrinated into poverty. I started reading every book I could around wealth, Cash Flow Quadrant, Richest Man in Babylon, The Wisdom of King Solomon, Think and Grow Rich, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, Intelligent Investor. I started diving into all of these books and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Wow, there's a pattern to this. This is nothing new under the sun. They distract us, they play us, and they flip it. Boom, they hit the little, Men in Black thing, and you're going to forget about the Epstein files. You're going to forget about Obama, and you're going to wake up, and the middle class is being wiped out. Happens every single time. They got you drunk in the Coliseum, okay? So once I learned that, I became crazy disciplined. I didn't touch my crypto. I lost everything because they shut down our business. I'm like, I ain't touching this crypto. Okay, I moved back in with my parents at 43, and I said, just give me 1 year. Let me figure this out. I don't want to touch this crypto. And then I started figuring out how cash flow works. We got our business back open. We went online and we went hardcore. And then we profited in 2020 to 2022. We pulled on the way up. We used spreadsheets, which we created Merlin. That's how we created Merlin. I exited on the way up if everybody's trying to get rich quick. And I pulled and I created cash generating businesses. I invested. And when the bear market collapsed, I got super excited and I got super disciplined. I started dollar cost averaging every single day. Every single time I got paid by my cash flowing businesses, they grew. I didn't buy bigger houses, nicer car. I didn't buy stuff. I transmuted it into cash flow. I transmuted into deflationary assets that I knew during this bull run to appreciate. I stuffed money in my cash value life insurance policies, creating leverage components. Then we went back into 2024. Trump got elected. Boom, my portfolio shot up 600%. I knew that was the life-changing moment. Okay. And from there, now we're inside of the machine. Okay. So now 3 times a week, I get paid by the cash generating things, businesses. Once a month, I get paid by my cash generating dividends. I transmute all of that cash, the 3 dividend payments a week. First is into my cash generating dividends. That's 10% of my earned income. It's the highest risk portion, which pays me the highest return. Okay. So I only risk 10%. The rest of it, I put on the sidelines, okay, to buy back in. If the markets are pumping, I just hold on the sidelines. As they start to cool off, I dollar cost average in. Every single day, automated, tactical, it's automated, comes out of my account. I buy Bitcoin, XRP every single day, and Solana once a month. Okay. Now I'm stacking deflationary assets, fixed supply. As they appreciate, my assets are about to appreciate dramatically. My XRP has gone up almost 900%, 889%. Okay. So my next target is going to be $5. I'm going to take a little bit off the table. I hold 50% of my altcoins forever, my Bitcoin forever. Okay. I pump money into my premiums every single month. That's my cash value life insurance, my family bank and protection. And then we have leverage. Okay. Now I've fully implemented my strategy. I just leveraged low leverage on my Bitcoin at 14%. They gave me their money, OPM. I leveraged, I borrowed their money at 14%, never sold my Bitcoin, no tax implications. Bought my insurance brokerage, it's paying it off. And people are like 14%. Hell yeah. I'm getting 50% a year on my Bitcoin. So I'm making 36% on my money. And as soon as that's paid off, boom, I just bought a free insurance brokerage firm. I made 36% on my money. And now I have a cash generating business that'll go from generation to generation. As soon as that leverage is paid off, boom, I'm doing it again. I'm taking that leverage and I'm buying cash generating dividends. And those dividends will pay it off as quick as possible. And I'll be pumping money into my policies and I'll be borrowing at 5% per year. And then I'll buy more cash generating dividends. Boom, I'll do it again. Cash flow is king. Cash is trash. Okay. And I did this in 5 years. So then I want to be very transparent with you. This is the financial freedom time in my life. I got to financial freedom, but financial freedom can be ruined. Right? If I make bad decisions right now, I could unwind this very quickly. The next cycle is generational wealth. Okay. When you get to the 8, 9 big figures, right? That's when you have to really mess it up. Okay. So I'm still locked in, dialed in over the next 4 years because the next cycle is about my kids, legacy. This I can F up, man. And I know that. And I'm aware of that. King Solomon, I'm aware of that. Okay. This can still slip up. And I still need to trade a little bit of time for money. But the position I want to put you in and share with you how to do is that now my dividends can pay for all my debts and non-negotiables. So here's the thing, man, if you're paying attention. Remember what I told you when they shut down my business and took away my ability to take care of my family? If they come and shut down these businesses, guess what? I can still pay my bills. My family's still taken care of because I got enough cash generating dividends and enough cash flow coming in outside of my earned income, trading time for money to pay for the family. That's legacy. That's what men should be doing. Okay. And now that this is set, now this big amount of wealth is coming in with this bull run. Now I can buy the fun stuff if I want to. But now my decisions are a little bit different. When I go to think about buying those things, I'm like, I realize how much that's going to take away from my family. So I'll never buy a liability unless it's paid for by an asset. So I know hopefully that was clear enough. I just want to be like, I'm going to get really dialed in with you guys. I'm going to share exactly what's on my mind. I'm going to be a lot more intense because this is how I live my life. And I'm not shadowing. I'm not going to filter anymore because I realize that God, okay, connection to God allows you to fulfill your purpose. You find your path, God will find the passengers. And so I've kind of been filtering my message. I've been filtering the way that I talk. I've been filtering the way that I think because I was getting feedback from passengers that were no longer on my path. No more. So on my channel, you're going to hear how I feel. Exactly. There's no filtering at all. And I'm here to say, men, you got to get your shit together. Straight up. I'm looking you in the eyes. You have to get your shit together. And I hope that you take that in a positive way. And I'm with you. I'm locked arm in arm with you. We're climbing this mountain together. Our job is to provide protection. Our job is to provide safety. And your job is to be a pillar within your family. Your job is not to get Lambos and Ferraris and houses. You can get all that stuff. That's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But you damn well better make sure that your family is taken care of. And you damn well better make sure that if you had a child with a woman, that that child and that woman is taken care of and your ecosystem is taken care of, because that is your responsibility to provide safety, security, and a foundation. And you should have your kids wearing your name on their back of their jersey. It's time for men to rise up. It's time for men to get focused. So I love you guys. And again, our program, 3T Warrior Academy, is for women as well. It's, it's 70-30, 70% men, 30% women. Women head of household, as I said on my Instagram stories this morning, it's like, kudos to you for rising up. Kudos to you for taking care of your family. And, I want to apologize for the men who are not stepping up into that role. I don't know what's going on within their life, but that's our job. And men, this is our opportunity to take care of the financial portion of our family. And we do that through connecting with God and honoring God in everything we do. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, let's get your shit together. God bless you. Love you guys.